There was a time when we were connected to our goddess self. There was no separation. There was a time when women were truly in their divine feminine essence. This was the time of Lemuria. And so what happened to the goddess? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salow and I help people to remember who they are. And today I want to talk about the goddess energy. The goddess energy is limitless. She literally has zero limitations. It's that pure potentiality. And so I like to imagine the goddess as dancing across the sky and laughing at our human limitations. Because to her it's literally ridiculous. And so when you are tracing the feminine consciousness, the collective feminine consciousness, and you see that in that Lemurian epoch, we were connected to that goddess energy. It was radiating from us. And it was expressed through everything that we did. This is one of the things that the priestesses have been doing for us. They've been storing the wisdom and knowledge of that goddess self, of that pre-fall self, before the fall of Lemuria, because the Lemurian energy fell through the feminine consciousness. So when we were connected to that goddess self, then we were really in our unlimited form. And so all these things like having a low self-worth, not knowing our purpose, being overly afraid of what other people would think of us, not creating what we want, not following our hearts, because we would have to justify it and make it logical. And if it doesn't make a logical sense, then we cannot do it, right? So all these things don't make sense to the goddess, because that goddess self is above all those limitations. And every woman is still connected to that goddess self. It's inside of you. If you want to, you can start feeling your own goddess self. And so imagine this higher Lemurian goddess self. And then as there was the fall of consciousness and we went into that Atlantean epoch, and we were more going into that masculine energy, the goddess started hiding. Each time we were falling into that forgetfulness, we were forgetting more and more that goddess self. And so what happened to the goddess when you imagine that you have that limitless Lemurian goddess self, and then you look at our current lives? If you brought a goddess into your present life right now, what would she see? What would she tell you when you tell your limitations, your worries, your doubts? What your goddess would tell you about those? She would think it's ridiculous in the best way, of course, in the most loving way. Because all those limitations, all the ways that women are hiding from their power, doesn't make any sense to that goddess self. Because she's all of it. She's not afraid of some expression of herself. She understands her power. She understands every aspect of her feminine divine essence. And she has also integrated her masculine energy. So there's really no limitations whatsoever. So what happened to a goddess when she was falling through those levels of consciousness to turn into an insecure woman who is sourcing her sense of worth through her environment? The goddess wouldn't do that. It wouldn't make a sense to goddess to look up to other people to determine her worth. What are we even talking about? She is the goddess. And so what would your goddess self tell you to do in your life? Whatever the limitation, whatever the situation, talk to your goddess self. What would she tell you to do? Where did your inner goddess go? You have to awaken her, because we are still connected to her. As I said, the goddess just went into hiding, but she's there. And so it's up to us to connect to that level of consciousness. It's up to us to tap into that limitless energy. How would your life change if you created your life from that goddess energy? And now, if this topic speaks to you, I run every year a group program called Feminine Power, where we go deeper into what a feminine energy truly is and how to connect to this limitless raw power. And I also do a priestess healing for women, where we go through different aspects and levels of feminine consciousness and the feminine history and everything related to using feminine gifts in your life. And so if this speaks to you, you can find it on my website. I'll leave the links down below. And I really invite you to start connecting to your goddess self, to that limitless part of you. What would she choose to do in your life? She is inside of you. I know you can feel her. She is still there. Connect to that energy. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and like and share this video with other people. Thank you for watching and see you next time.